Oh, sorry guys. I just realized. Good evening, everyone. I was like talking for all along, and then I just realized that I completely like shut off my mic. So once again, good evening, everyone. It's super cool to see you tonight. Another stream like on the same sculpt that we did last week, and we're still like at it because I mean there's so much detail, and 1 hour per week. You know, it doesn't progress. The progress doesn't show like as quick as we hope for, but at least we'll try to manage. So yeah, basically what I was saying while my mic was on mute was that um, last week basically we worked like on the breast area where we did like all the pads and all of that things. We did like a couple of straps like that. And yeah, for this week, like maybe I think I'll tackle the whole chest and belly area. Maybe like have some kind of similar treatment. I will like try to define a little bit more of the muscle of the abs. And yeah, one of the things that I'm gonna try it's that old zigzag kind of shape, because now like our body is like so different from one side to another, just to help us out like a little bit more compare like to let's just say like clay, which you would actually need to remodel everything and just look really closely to try to repeat everything. I think just to help me out, I will just duplicate it, switch it on the other side, and then manage like to place it. If it's not perfect, it's all right, but at least I'll have like the subtle cues of this triangle or this goes in, and I'll try just to symmetrize it just by by eyeballing it, and from there we'll see where it goes. So here goes nothing. Same trick as usual. I'm just gonna repeat it just to be sure you guys follow me all along. I got 4 level of subdivision on this. This is like the what I did in the previous stream. I just like did a mask, extracted, cleaned it up, and then did like a panel loop to get some thickness. And yeah, I will just like do a duplicate. And since there's no way you can actually flip it with subdivisions, I will just like delete lower with the highest one and then flip it. Right now, since my mesh is like all kind of torn up, like my the way you actually do the mirror are kind of weird, but at least on this axis it seems to be like quite close. So I'm just gonna try to replace it by an Alt Shift just to be sure I'm snapping to the same axis. And yeah, I'll do that. Like I could rebuild my subdivisions to do that, but right now doesn't change much. It's not like a mesh that it's like super heavy. So I think I'll be able to do something. So yeah, I'm just looking at both sides, just trying like to see which part should be. Of course, like the body is like squashed like over here, so it's normal that everything will be more tapered. So maybe like I can try like to taper it just a little bit more, or maybe not. Maybe I think I'll align like the top part, mask it, and then I will taper it. Yeah, because like in the top where the rib cage is, sorry about that. For some reason, my French accent want to come out like sometimes. Yeah, you were not supposed to get like a lot of distortion from the bending. So for this, I will rebuild it. So I'll go back to my geometry reconstruct and bring back my 4 level of subdivision. So at least when I mask, because if I would have kept it like so high, I wouldn't get like a really smooth mask. It would be like super sharp because it got so many subdivisions, but now it's a lot more smoother. So here goes nothing. So see, I'm like kind of squashing it, and I can even like twist it a little bit more. Right now I'm looking really at this corner and this corner, so I'll try like to match them up just a little bit and then try to twist it just to be sure it stays like on the surface. It doesn't need to be perfect, but at least I just want to give the illusion. So now I'll continue with my mask. Hey guys, I'm just yeah, I just quickly look at the chat, and it's cool to see you tonight. Oh, and now I get it's just, come on dude. Okay, we'll get there. So, like the usual, I always like to know from which country or part of the world you're from. So, feel free to say it in the chat. In one of the right now, like I'm trying like on my cell phone to keep up with the Facebook chat. But yeah, I apologize if I got like a hard time like keeping up with everything, because I got like some kind of restream chat window where I can see like people chatting from the Twitch and the YouTube, which is like a lot easier to me because like the reference are just next to it. But yeah, just for the test, like could someone just write something in the chat? Okay, yeah, that's the thing. I wasn't sure like we could actually see it in the stream, but yeah, that's cool. Now you guys can actually see, you know, from different, you know, platform what people actually are commenting on, so I won't need like to repeat like every question and answer. So that's awesome. But yeah, like I was saying, like I'm using the Restream chat app, and it's just like on my second monitor next to the my reference page, so it's a lot more easier to keep track of the chat. But yeah, if you really prefer Facebook, then I'll try to get a hold of you at some point. So right now, like I'm still like trying to figure everything out. Like basically, since I see like it's clipping over here like inside of my mesh, that's where I'm gonna try to bend it some more and mask it from there. I just want to have like a decent angle. See my mask up there, I guess it didn't make it proper, because when I'm moving this I got jiggle, so here you go. That's it. Now I got it. So this thing is supposed to go sideways. So, and right now like I did some kind of sculpt of that line, so I'll just bend it and then I'll try to see if I can just raise it a little bit more, because since everything is like squash, it should be it's normal that everything is like a little bit more tighter. Yeah, for this part is like it's always tricky. Like you need to be like super gentle, because, well, first off, one of the things that I do is like, you see like the brush size that I go, I will probably like never try to go like as smaller than that, because you know that's the thing. I just want to move it as a whole and keep it uniform. And if I go like too small and I start like, well, maybe not that small, but like this, then I'll start like to change the whole proportion of the mesh, which is definitely something you don't want to do with hard surface. So yeah, I will, and usually I just like tap my Wacom. It feels like I can see like the change, you know, going in slower. So if I just did like something like way too aggressive that changed my shape, I can just do like a quick undo. It's easier, I think, for me to just see it while I sculpt. But yeah, some of the meshes might get messed up still. Once again, like I'm using the IQ curve and the move brush with you know, I got my short key on A on the keyboard, but yeah, I just like trigger it when I need it, and yeah, when you get like super used to it, like basically you just I don't even like think about it. I'm just like the I think that's one of the sweetest spot when you get so used to your to your keys that you're not even thinking about what you're pressing on the keyboard. Your hands just go like it's so natural. You're just like thinking about how you're actually doing and not really thinking about how to use the tools. I don't know if that makes sense or if you guys ever experience what I'm talking about, but I guess it's when you start to understand or assimilate the tool. So yeah, I'm just like pushing a little bit more of the original sketch because once more like there's no reason why I cannot edit that, and like you saw, like it's super messy, so it was so far from the reality. So, and of course right now I'm still like placing everything on top, and you know I still got like, you know, kind of a jittery kind of surface, but that's alright. Like right now I'm only like trying to have something smooth and something close to my surface, and once I'm happy with it, I will just like probably go back in with like a H polish or something and just make it more flat. So gentle, gentle, gentle. Okay. And yeah, for those parts, like we don't see it, but I actually split them, so it's gonna be like a lot more easier just to place them back. And once I'm happy with them, I can always like just do a boolean and then merge them together. But in the meantime, just for placement, it's easier. So where are my people are from? Serbia. Oh, that's badass. California. Great. Yeah, yeah. I can definitely show you my reference page. That's one of the thing, you know, I need like to explain about that. And sorry for the guys who actually already like, you know, heard about this, but my reference page is not really like a one-to-one reference. Like basically I don't have like a specific sketch of where I'm going because I'm designing on the fly. I just got like it's a lot more like a mood board, and basically it could be like material reference, design cues, like how stuff get repeated. It's like, but you know, I'm just gonna show you like the reference page, which is enormous. You know, that's what I do. Like right now, one of the thing I wanted to look at, that's one of the sculptures from Prime 1, and you know, like all they did, I kind of like, well, the fact that they put like a nightlight on it. It's even like cooler because it pops out. But yeah, it's usually I go like super massive, and basically I will just like load up everything that inspires me. So just to tell you, like before I started like to stream, like maybe 5 minutes before, I just went in, even if I, you know, that reference page has been created like almost like a, I mean, maybe 4 months ago or even like 6 months ago, and it was like a lot smaller. But every time that I'm finding something relevant to what I'm sculpting, I will just like add it up to this reference page. But still, like every time that before I start streaming or, you know, sculpting, I will just like go over that page, and I will just do like a flyover. You know, I will look at everything, and basically that's first off like it got like mini usage for me. It's like it could be like first I get, you know, inspiration from this because like maybe like I don't know where to go with the, you know, I'm talking about like doing the center torso part. So like I'm just like, okay, you know, how should I do that, like stitches or wrinkles and stuff like that. And then, you know, I could look at this and just like, oh yeah, that's cool, like, you know, those small dots like going in, and maybe like some writings or something. You know, it's mainly like for, like I've said, inspiration, and sometimes it's just it motivates me, like a lot of female bodies as well. Right now, like I'm not really working a lot on the female body. It's more like parts, so I check this less. But yeah, I just try to have like a mix up of everything, so I get influence, and I don't know, I guess it goes like to my subconscious or something, like stuff that I actually record in my mind. Like after that, when I sculpt, I know that there's like stuff that if it doesn't feel natural to me, or something like my eye, there's something that bothers me, that then it's probably because of those reference are like coming back at me. And see, like even like the material switch up and all of that. So I know that someone asked me like in previous stream, like where does it stop? I mean, basically it stops when you feel that you found everything that you needed. But yeah, for me, I rather like have more. So when I get in the zone and I start sculpting, I don't need to go back to the internet. You know, it's only like me, ZBrush, and my reference page, and then I will just stay in that kind of zone as long as I can up until I finish my sculpting. Then when I'm not sculpting, then that's where, you know, I'll, you know, from time to time, even with at work, you know, I gather like reference like in when I got like a little bit of time, and then yeah, I put some on the side for my sculpture. So yeah, yeah, I know some like concept artists that I work with, they use like PureRef, which is, I mean, that's a great tool, but I don't know, I got used to actually just having like a, right now it's only like a, I think it's like Microsoft Image Viewer or something, and it's I mean, it's not the top of the line for sure, but it's like, for me, I got like kind of used to it, and it's like, it's mainly also because like the PC I use at home versus at work, it's like it's not really good, and running Photoshop and ZBrush at the same time with like that kind of sculpt and like a lot of sub tools, man, it started lagging like crazy. So that's why I use it like that. But to be honest with you, that never really bothered me. So, but yeah, the PureRef is like a, I guess it's just like a preference thing, like if you like it, because I've tried it like in the past, but it, yeah, I don't know, I just felt like confident with like the zoom with the Z and all, and I don't know. So I will just like do the same thing as we just did before. See, like right now, like this one, I thought I actually put some subdivisions on them. Okay, no, it's even better. Then I don't need like to worry about, you know, I can just flip it and then I'll subdivide it later once everything is placed. So yeah, because one of the things that I must say was like, you know, like and I guess that's a direct influence of what I'm doing at work. Like basically at work, like when I receive like a concept from the concept artist, usually it's not like set in stone, or sometimes it's like the concept is like blurry, or like the details are not clear. So I think it's always good to actually try to look at the concept and see how you can actually push it further. And of course, since it's like a concept made out of basically the concept artist's mind, there's no real reference to it. So that's why it's, for me, it's actually good to see like how can I push it further by gathering more reference and thinking about what's the next step, you know, how can I bring it to the next level with my sculpture. So yeah, it's something that I found like it's really helpful, even as an artist, to actually improve, because in some of those reference, there's like sculptures which like, it's like sculptures that I really like, you know, I think they're super talented, and there's stuff that they do that I would really like to do, but if I never look at the reference what I'm doing it's like, it's, I guess I get complacent, like I kind of forget about how they did it, and then when I get like the reference right in my page, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. If I want to do like a leather, there's one guy or one girl that actually did it, and it was like super nice, and I should definitely try to get something closer to that, or understand how they made it to be so cool. So I hope that makes sense for everyone, what I'm saying right now. So right now I'm just going to try to, once again, I'm squashing everything. I'm just using like the move tool, and I try like to put it like as an anchor at the bottom of my my mesh. Right now it just needs to be like that, and yeah, like the cross needs to be at the bottom. Well, you know, the stretching part is going to be on the opposite. So kind of like the fact that you got like this bit sticking out. It really like reinforced the fact that it's like a some kind of a art angle shape. Did some of you in I think it's in Burbank, like in California, attended I think it was the Monsterapalooza or something like a, I'm not sure if it was last weekend or 2 weekends ago, but yeah, I just like barely catch it up like on YouTube. I think on Tested, the YouTube channel, and yeah, that I mean that show looks pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of you know, sculptors that just like printed out their things and selling them out. I think that's pretty cool that they're doing like shows like that. I wish we could see like a lot more, and of course like some in my city or at least Montreal, you know, because we got like a lot of sculptures so in Montreal. So I'm pretty sure at some point maybe it will happen. Okay, so just to help me guide me around, I will start. Right now I'm trying like to, you know, as much as I'm playing with this, I'm actually looking at the center part as well. And if I just draw like a some kind of center line, am I on the right one? No. I don't want it like to be super aggressive. I like to fade it like a little bit more. I'll just like just put it super lightly, and then maybe it could go like a little bit deeper over here. Same thing with over here. And then I will just, you know, define the boundaries. It will be easier after that to place my stuff, since the shape are a little bit more defined. Another thing that it's actually good to have is like right now I'm not looking at it, but I like reference of like female pose with like super dynamic kind of twisted like torso and stuff like that, like not bodybuilders but more like a fitness model and stuff like that, where they got like really like the whole body super defined. So at least I would, that's one of the things. Sometimes it's cool to have like a more extreme kind of developed body, because you know it's not like a caricature, but it's like a lot more defined, so you understand a lot better where everything is placed. So after that, when you actually do, let's just say, a suit like that, maybe like the abs wouldn't be like sticking out like this like so much, but at least you would understand where it's placed, and okay, maybe at this in this region I should have like a little bit of a bulge, you know, for the ab, but maybe not like define it super well. So hello everyone, for the one that I missed. The timer that I put on the bottom, it's just like because this stream is actually when I book my time with Pixelogic for streaming, we got like a specific, you know, I guess timeline to stream, and because after that, I think that there's Oscar streaming. So yeah, so basically, it's just like to give you guys like an update to see like how much time is actually remaining on this stream, and yeah, the thing that you don't know is like I actually got like an alarm because I don't have like the time right in my face. It's usually like once the time is actually remaining is done, then I get like some kind of a nuclear alarm or something like you'll see. Actually, I don't know if you guys can actually hear it once it actually starts, but yeah, you'll see. It's gorgeous, gorgeous sound. So I'll just like try to define a little bit more of the rib cage. I don't want it like to be super apparent, but at least I just want to have like some kind of bulge that will indicate where the edge of the cage should be. See, like that's another thing that I like. Since I got inspired by the reference page, and I'm not like constantly looking at it. I can just like, I'm a lot more permissive on what I'm doing. So right now, like, I was just sculpting, and that's maybe like something I want to keep. It's just like, I started like to do some small, dents in it, and oh, maybe we got something there, You remember earlier when I look at the reference page? Wait, I'm just gonna bring it up again. But I saw like like this girl who actually had like dots in it. That might sound silly, but I'm not like replicating those dots one for one. But the fact that she got like a kind of a flat surface like on her, well, right now it's like on her belly, but it could be like anywhere on the body. But the fact that it's like almost skin tight surface, and then you get like those kind of dents in it, it's just like I got like inspired right there, by doing like, okay, maybe I could do like something like that, but it doesn't need to be like exactly the same thing. So yeah, maybe I'll go with this. And then another thing that is like pretty good like in design is repetition. So if I can find like other spot where I could actually integrate that. And once again, it's like it's a trial and error, like I'm gonna put it like this, and then see right now I think it feels kind of weird, so I'll just remove the top ones and then just leave those for now, and then I will just continue to work, because with that I'm still like looking at my things, and I'll know after a certain point if it bothers me or not. But yeah, that's basically my trick to know if the detail is cool or not, or I'm adding too much or too less. It might not be super clear to actually I mean, like, if you want to practice it, I think that's a good thing to actually try out. But yeah, it's I guess it's something that you build like over time. But yeah, I don't think that's the whole process should be like as loose as possible. It's for me like that's how I find like the most creative solution, and even like get motivated, because it always like is like exciting, because you never really know what you're gonna be landing on. You just like everything is like discovered as long as you're sculpting, and I think that's fun, because when you already got a concept, that's cool as well. If you got like a really nice concept, it's come on, I just wanna, maybe I'll just change my fill color to this. Okay, maybe too black. Welcome. Do I got something in here? Sorry, I just got like this black thing, and I just want to get rid of it. stamp sander, but yeah. That should work. What is going on? You guys got like any clue? I just want to remove that color, but maybe it's because of that. Do I got the right poly group? Yeah. That's annoying. Oh, it's because I had a mask on top. Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, we're good to go then. So right now, like you can see, it's lacking a little bit of resolution because I did that original sculpt with the Dynamesh, and unfortunately when I started this sculpt, Sculptress wasn't available, like in the 2018 version. But yeah, basically like my whole process for this, it will be probably changing up once I'm officially like switching to 2008. It's just I just didn't have like the time to do it yet. But yeah, usually what I'll do is like I will just sculpt, and since all those details gonna be like isolated in separate parts, then once I'm everything is connected around it, like that center part, I'm gonna detach it and then remesh it, and then I will clean it up so all those edges will be looking a lot better than that. I think I've inverted the yeah, okay. So you guys are still with me? I'm just gonna quickly look at Facebook if there's anybody there hanging. Hey, okay. Hey guys. Hello, Simon, Pat, Dave. How you doing, fellas? So yeah, I'll probably like put like some kind of metal part or bracket in here. Always, getting out then getting in, because it can be so easy to detail everything up close, but having like a perspective like all around, and even like to check if everything is still centered. Like right now I feel like this thing is actually sticking out like a lot more than the other side, so I'll just like try to, I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't do it right away, but I mean, I'm just like trying to. Another thing which I'm gonna try is actually just suggest like there's like a under shape, because why not? That might look cool. I'm trying like to balance out as well like the level of detail between everything, because I try like to have like some relief zones, so that zone like I consider it like a relief one, so I don't want to you know, like overcrowded. So that's why I'm just gonna keep it like with super light detail, because I think like the contrast between, you know, blend and detail is works a lot more when you got like a different kind of density of detail. It will make like the super high density detail pop out more if it's surrounded by more kind of a bland flat detail. So see, I'm playing with this, and yeah, the more I'm playing with it, the less I like it. So like I said, it's a process. So you know, you try it, you don't like it, then you do a couple of undos, and then you move to something else. Then I'll try to cut that. So what are you guys working on? Are you working like on a specific model or project, or always like to hear about that. I feel sometimes there's like so much inspiration, you want to sculpt so many things that it's you get kind of overwhelmed. You're like maybe not overexcited, but just like, yeah, it's just there's so many cool stuff coming out these days that see, it's always good to check it from all angles. Like right now I feel like, you know, this is like higher than this, so. And yeah, the other thing is like right now, like it's kind of a I wouldn't probably like do that sort of stuff like in production, except of, you know, of course if they ask me to do that. But it's like it's a little bit of exploration and a little bit of a um, little bit of a like sculpting and producing, because, you know, like you can probably notice, like I'm not constrained by time at all. So I'm just like experimenting and just seeing like how it feels and all. So that's why I'm like taking my time. And, you know, for me it's like all that, you know, sculpting is just like some kind of a relaxing kind of a fun personal project. So it's like, yeah, I'm just like not really bothered by time. The only thing I'm bothered the most is like if I'm dragging this thing like way too long, and I might get like lose the motivation to do it. But, you know, that's one of my secret things. Like, and maybe that's something that I could actually suggest to you. Like, if you got like a hard time keeping the motivation, maybe you should stream it. You know, because at least, you know, it forced you to be more committed to what you're working on. And if you know that, you know, there's like people that want to see your progress or that you can interact with, I think it's something that once you like to go back more, you know, like just this stream that I'm doing tonight with you guys, I think for me it's like super motivational, because I feel like yeah, if I would be just like sitting alone in my basement, I would be yeah, maybe like losing the flame at some point. So that's all, you know, all kind of different tricks that I'm trying like to push to keep my motivation high as much as I can. Okay, so one of the things that I just want to start defining are the wrinkles. What the hell is going on? Am I in symmetry? Yeah. So I'm going back to my standard brush, and I'm gonna be playing with the active curve. You'll see it like, you know, quite often, like going on and going off. But for my wrinkles, and yeah, once more, like on my pad, I barely touch it. You know, it's just wanna slightly change my surface. Sometimes like another thing, like since my right now my mesh, like I didn't check the topology, but the way it feels like almost like too low res. So like when I'm brushing on my pad, like it feels almost like too strong. So just to help me out, I will actually lower my intensity, so it will be like easier to do like something a lot more natural. Okay, that doesn't work. Just like try to find my where it should be like pulling the most. Maybe that's too late. I'll just switch my material. Sometimes it helps out to refresh the eye. So fill object again. Did that work? Okay. I'll just like put it slightly darker so it contrasts a lot more with the rest of the piece. Sometimes it's I think it's easier to see where you're going. For some reason it doesn't seem to work. What the hell, man? Okay. It's weird, like I never noticed, but it seems to be the back color is actually influencing the... Always thought it was like the front one. Maybe I changed something and I didn't notice. Okay, so see, like now it's popping out like a lot more all my other parts. So see, that's always like the goal. Like right now, like I'm going in, trying new things, and then I'm sticking out. Does it hold up? Yeah, I think it's not too bad. And if I feel like bothered later, then I will just change it. I mean, so you'll see like slowly I'm building my pad. And right now, like sometimes you see it like right away, like this crease like way too strong. And even like, you know, the shape of that pad, I'm gonna define it with the... And maybe I'll try like something else. I just saw something in there, so... For a small trick, for um, uh, when I sketch, basically, if I want to do like this thing is actually a pad and it's like soft surface, usually I'll try like to use the clay one because it's a lot softer. You know, it doesn't have like some kind of hard, you know, edge around it. So since it's like a lot smoother, it's easier like to add up and modify it. But if I'm doing like something hard surface, I'll go with the clay tube or the clay build-up, and the one just underneath. Basically, the clay tube is like, if I just go like over like that, it doesn't really build up like the brush says. And like this one, if I just go like that, then you see like it builds up. So depending on whatever you want, like I'm super used to clay tube, and I just like do strokes like that. Like I basically lift off my pen from the tablet and just go over the stroke like many times. And there's always like another trick that is like kind of useful, and it's like if you go into stroke, and then I'll just do like I did this, but I want like the exact same square around it. Then I will do like a couple of replay last. So from there, I will still keep my perfect kind of square shape, instead of like doing like a couple of strokes like that, and I have something like that it's not really clean. Yeah, just a small trick. So I'm just like trying to figure out if I could actually change that, but I'm not sure. So how you guys are keeping up? Everything's cool? I don't have any more comments. I hope you guys didn't fall asleep or something. So once more, like from what I remember from the anatomy books, like usually abs, like they got like first, like they're never similar. They always got those kind of crazy shapes. So I think I'll try like to bring some of that back in my sculpting. Nope. Yeah, that's cool, Gabrielle. I'm quite glad you're actually still awake. I think that's my coffee break actually. I'm talking so much, man. I'm drying up. That's one of the thing, like if you guys are like familiar with drawing and life drawing and that stuff, usually there's this stuff that they call like the gesture line, and basically this thing in the center is like kind of a gesture line. I'm just gonna try to refine it to be nicer, so right now, like I feel like this, it goes like right there, and it's not, the two sides are not even if the body is actually squashed. This part shouldn't be squashed that much, so I'm just like try to realign it once more with my move brush tapping, and then even if I don't have the whole body, I can still manage to see where I'm going with this. So, and I kind of like the fact that this part is actually sticking out of and I think I'm gonna try to keep that. It's gonna be like still like padded spot, but maybe one thing that I could try out, the more I think about it, I'll just do that and then go back in and do like some kind of a edge. because once more I remembered what I, the reference that I looked at, and I saw that some of the parts had like some kind of edge like that. Because what's cool about that kind of edge, if you're just like doing something that sticks out, well, right now I'll try like to push it in, but since I got so low res, it's gonna be hard. But yeah, one of the things that I like with like a edge sticking out like that, well, I'll need like to clean it up a lot more than this. But it's if you're doing like a render or putting it like in a light scene or just like printing it, like what I'm planning to do with this, it's just like when it's going to be exposed to light, that edge would probably like get a lot of light. And if you remember, like, some of the concept it's that I had like before on Catwoman, I think I had like a Destro in there. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit more. See, like, since they put like some glossy, well, it's super low res, but yeah, over here, since they put like a lot of glossy and it's like an edge that catches up like the light. So what I'm saying about, when I try to think about materials and stuff like that, because once if it get painted, and or even if it doesn't get painted, those edges will catch more light, so it will define a lot more of that center shape. We see, like, even if it's black on black, we see the shape so well because of that. So I think it's like a little touch like that, but that's the thing, it needs to be always used like super lightly. But I mean, if it's done well, then you'll see like you don't have too much, and then it serves its purpose. So yeah, all the small things. And yeah, and once again, guys, if the best trick I can give out that I learned over the years, it's always like contrast. Like, could be surface contrast, height contrast. In this case, like, it was material contrast. And yeah, and to have like a good contrast, you need like a lot versus not a lot, if if that makes any sense. But yeah, just like if I do this like only in that region, that will probably serve its purpose. But once again, I'm sorry if I'm like just like I keep talking about that stuff, but it's just like I will try like to do mental notes while I'm sculpting it. That's one of the things that is cool about taking his time. Like right now I'm making notes of how I'm doing my stuff, and I know that since I did like that kind of edge detail, maybe I should bring it back at some point. Maybe like when I'm doing the back, or like the butt or something. Maybe I'll bring some of that padding back, just because it creates like a more uniform design, like something that it feels like a lot more that the suit was actually all made by the same company or same person. And it just gives you like a stronger design, I think. Okay, maybe I see a hole in there, and I feel like we should put something. And I kind of like the fact that if we do like buttons like that. Wait, I'll just remove the. That's something that maybe it's annoying with the damn center, is like having the lazy mouse. Because if you're doing like holes like that, it won't really let you because of the stroke after that. So yeah, something that I like about that is like to do like wrinkles from that hole, so it feels like a lot more like if it was like kind of a snapped in. And once again, it's like another great excuse to bring out more wrinkles. But yeah, right now my owl is like almost too low res to bring any kind of wrinkle, but at least I'll try to do some kind of a bulge around it. I'm doing a bulge, but maybe I should have done the opposite. I don't know, because this looks almost like a pinball or a, no. Okay, so I will just, like, for now I will just remove those holes. I'll finish up everything, put some wrinkles, and then maybe come back later to see if I can do something about it. Yeah, by the way, if you want to share it with me, like, I'm always interested, like, if at some point you want me, like, to show me, like, your stuff, like, don't hesitate, like, to tag me on Instagram or Facebook, so I can take a look at your things. I don't think I'm a master, but if you guys think I could help you out, then it will be my pleasure. Yeah, it starts to be messy in that corner, but I'm just, like, trying to indicate a little bit of the, because what I want to do is, like, keep, like, that border that I'm supposed to do over here, and then over here I have it like double border. So I know it's messy, but at least I'll just like to indicate it, so later when I come back I'm just like, oh, okay, that's right, that was like my intent. Just gonna smooth it a little bit more. Yeah. Oops. Okay, I won't. I will leave it like this for now. So okay, we got like one done. And then we'll try to replicate the same thing on the other side. Yeah, if you guys got like any question, feel free to ask at the same time. what tablet do I recommend? Right now, I'm working on the Wacom Intuos 3, which is like a kind of an old model. But to be honest with you, like the difference that I found like between tablet, because I use like a, I think 2, 3, 4, 5, and is it? I'm not sure if I don't think there's a 6 out yet, right? But yeah, to be honest with you, like most of the time, I didn't feel like that's such a big difference. Well, pressure sensitivity actually is like something, but once again, sometimes like it's the thing about I like about the Intuos 3 is actually that I guess like the pressure sensitivity is just right for me. Like the way I put pressure on my tablet, it gives me exactly what I want. But if I switch to like an Intuos 5, and even like the surface of the Intuos 3 is actually super smooth, kind of almost like slippy, instead of I think it's like the 4 or the 5, which is like a lot more like paper, like rougher surface. And I kind of if you give me the choice, I would rather have like a slippy one than a rougher one. And even like the nibs of the Wacom pens, man, they wear out so quick with that. So yeah, some people like it better because it's closer to paper, but for me it's I rather have like something smooth that when I do a stroke, it's easier like to almost like swing my arm or swing my wrist, and not as something a lot more straight or I don't know. I feel like I get a lot more control to get exactly what I want, but that might has to do with the fact that I've been using it for quite some time. But yeah, like I worked like at work for a while with a Cintiq, and I think that's a great tool. But yeah, I didn't have like a those big kind of control arms that that you can actually lift up the tablet, and I was like kind of all the time hunchback on the tablet, and I started like that like some kind of real lower back problems and all. So I was just like, wow, okay. But overall, for the efficiency and all, I actually like preferred it because it was slightly bigger. I think it was like a 24 inch tablet, I think so. And basically what I liked about it is like because I've been like doing like light drawing for quite some time, less nowadays, but for a while I was doing like quite a bit of it. And one of the things that I like about having like a big pad with light drawing is like you need to draw a lot more with the shoulder. And since my tablet was like bigger, I could draw with a lot more with my shoulder, and I felt like the lines that I would actually pull out, since I'm like doing it directly on the tablet, would be more precise, like more straight, specifically when I'm not using like the lazy mouse. And yeah, for me, like it felt like it was like slightly, I would say like maybe like a 2 to 5% gain like in the overall quality of my like detailing, sculpting precision, I would say. But yeah, to me like it wasn't like a deal breaker if I didn't work with it. So but yeah, I would if I would recommend something, I would just probably just go with like an Intuos. And I mean like it could be like a maybe not the Intuos 2 because it's kind of dated, and yeah, like the pressure sensitivity is felt. But yeah, after that, like from 3 to whatever version we got right now, I think that's a good investment. But yeah, I never try like the other brands. I know that now there's like a lot of brands doing tablets, which I'm sure there must be like some really good. It's just like yeah, I got my old Intuos 3, and at work they give me like Wacoms all the time, so I didn't really get the chance to try other brands. So that's why I'm just not talking about other brands. But yeah. So unfortunately, I cannot give out like really my input on that. But one of the sites that I kind of follows, like for those kind of reviews, and I kind of like, you know, what kind of review he gives out, is actually Parka blogs. So I don't know if I can actually, instead of typing it, I'm just gonna try something. If my computer wants to. Just a second. I just wanted to type it in, but okay, wait, okay, it's there. So it's one of those two. I'm not sure, but yeah, if you wow, if you look at one of those two websites, basically like it's like a kind of a art book kind of review site, but oftentimes like you review quite a bit of different like tablets and stuff like that. It's, I guess, like the guy is actually more like a 2D kind of artist, but yeah, he goes like over many of them and he kind of cross compare them. So yeah, that might be like useful if you want to try like the other brands. But yeah, it's I might not be like the best reference for tablets. And yeah, even like on my tablets, another thing that I didn't mention was like, I know that, you know, Wacom nowadays are doing like touch features on the monitor, and to be honest with you, I never used it. And even like the short keys, like the button, the simplest reason why I never used really the buttons around the tablet, it's just because of my work. Sometimes depending, or if I switch from a studio to another one, I will not like always get like the same exact tablets. So because of that, I'd rather not get used to, you know, those buttons, and then once I switch studio, or for some reason to switch my tablet, then I'm like all kind of a slow down or whatever. So yeah, for me it feels more like a gimmick. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, once again, it's like, I mean, if you want to use it, I think that's perfectly fine. It's just, once again, it's just like my UI. It's just like my personal preference, but I don't think that they're like the way to use it, or something that everyone should do. You just tailor it to your need, and if you're always like using the same tablets, then I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't use the buttons if you feel that that could help you out. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back and start doing wrinkles again, because we all like wrinkles. And one of the thing I just noticed is like I think I'm painting in white right now, which is not something I want to do. Yeah. Yeah, the main reason why I didn't want to paint white was just because it's it's harder to read the surface information from it. So sometimes you know, even the strokes for the wrinkles, I'll put them like stronger or longer, and then with the smooth brush I will actually smooth them off. I'm keeping the last trick for last, but yeah, I'm gonna do the damn standard remove for the people who actually missed it. One of the secrets that I actually a sculptor like shared to me, which unfortunately I completely forgot who actually shared that with me, but since I heard about it, I'm using it all the time. And I think that's a great advice. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish those wrinkles before we hit 10 p.m. or like the remaining time. And yeah, we'll check it out. I hope you guys will actually try it out, and if you got some feedback, then that's one of the things like I completely forgot to mention, but if you guys like got like any feedback on that stream, or stuff I could do to improve the stream, or feel free to to reach me and say it. I mean, right now like I'm enjoying myself, but I don't have any clue what's the perspective that you guys got. So if you think there's things that I could do that would improve like the quality of this stream, then please let me know. One of the things that I'm always like trying to aim for are actually the corners, because most of the time that's where because you get usually the thing with corners is like you get wait, is like you get, let's just say like I go with this angle, you got like this side and this side, both of them pulling, like pulling like inside of the crack. So basically you would get like a lot more tension from corners than like on one side, because it's only like pulling from one direction, and a corner is actually pulling from, if you guys like did like any sewing, and let's just say you want to sew like a just like a cushion, like a square cushion, it's not that I'm like an expert sewing, but like my girlfriend like sew quite a bit, and basically, yeah, one of the things is like when you end up like in the corners, you get like a lot of extra fabric, and you need like to cut it out. But once oftentimes that's the most troublesome part, because yeah, you get like a lot more extra fabric, and because of that, it might cause like a lot more wrinkles. So once again, like from the little that I know about it, like I try to include it in my sculpting, just to make it like a lot more believable. Sorry about that. So did I miss something in the comments? Yeah, Gray is saying I just got that, but like yeah, he or she, like I'm not sure, but like basically Gray was saying that he or she tried to use the ZBrush with a mouse and it didn't go that well. Yeah, that's definitely something that it's gonna be probably a nightmare to try to do with a mouse, unfortunately. So yeah, I think a tablet is like a must if you wanna use a ZBrush, but maybe not like a Wacom, just a graphic tablet. And even like the size of the tablet, I think the one I'm using right now is like a 9 by 12 inch in centimeter. I'm not sure how much it is, but 12 inches, I think it's 30 centimeters, and 9 inch, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can look it up. It's coming along. One of the things that I'm always like trying to watch for are like having like creases, but not too strong. I want to still keep it soft, because, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it's supposed to be like a relief kind of zone, and if I add like too much hard wrinkles, then it will become like a some kind of detail area, which is not something that I want. And I don't want, you know, that's one thing. And the other thing is, like, I don't want it to look like it got like too much extra fabric sitting on top, because of course, like, if the fabric is actually more loose on top and not kind of tight, it will create like a lot more wrinkles, which we kind of lose like the feeling of tight fabric on top of a piece underneath. Okay, so now one of the things that I want to do, since we got like 10 minutes left, are actually the secret trick for the guys who actually didn't catch up on the last stream, is that every damn standard stroke, or like, well, right now I'm doing the standard IQ curve, which is basically the same kind of approach. It's like, you know, you got like a super tight line. You should always like use with damn standard or standard an inflate or a pinch on those lines, because right now, like, they're all open, and basically in real life usually you get this, I don't know if you see my hands, but usually you see, if you got like a crack like that, usually you got like some kind of a, you know, it's like rolling like this, and it's like, yeah, like the fabric kind of it's not like going perfectly straight, it kind of bulge out like a little bit, and almost like sometimes touch itself. So I mean, to replicate that, you should definitely go with like an inflate or a pinch, depending. But since what I'm doing right now, it's some padding, I think an inflate might be like softer and gives like a better illusion for it. So see, like now, like we don't feel like the cracks as intense as they were before. So it's probably not like a something crazy, but I think yeah, if you try it out, I think you'll be quite amazed of, you know, what kind of different level of quality you can actually get out of it. So yeah, like just before I mention that, I just wanted to go over and look at my pads and just be sure that it's sticking out enough. Like this one is alright, this one is not too bad, this one is like, could be a little bit more. I'm trying like just to go with like a big brush, a big inflate, because I don't want to destroy the wrinkles that I just did, and I just want to uniformly bring everything out. The reason why I'm not using the move tool right now for this is like the balls will still keep like kind of a soft round. Well, for this it kind of destroy my detail, but usually, yeah, it keeps like that kind of a rounder bulge. But yeah, maybe a mix of both could help. So just try like to define those a little bit more. Usually the center part of those pads get like a lot less wrinkles. Maybe I went too hard on this, but yeah, I'm just looking at the two sides and trying to bring back some of the similar detail. Okay, I'm just gonna try to finish this bit. So yeah, I'm rushing through this, so sorry for the guys who actually commented. Like I'll just like try to, you know, rapidly catch up. But thanks for the comment. Someone asked, do you use live booleans? Yes, I do, and I'll use it probably like more towards the end of the sculpt, because right now I can still play with all my independent kind of parts. But once I need like to go into you know, 3D print, and everything needs to be watertight. So yeah, live boolean's gonna be like a magical for that part. So I'll basically like combine all my parts, and I will probably like look, you know, every one of them, and you know, stuff like this with like cavity underneath, that won't actually happen. You know, I will actually fill in those gaps and just be sure like every part is like super like this, basically like the six pack, basically like everything is just like touching each other, and we don't see like a huge gap or something going underneath. Because even afterwards, like if you, I don't know like what's the plan of, you know, your 3D print project, but if you plan to cast it with some kind of liquid resin or like liquid urethane or something, then having like cavities to cast like a mold, or like a mold made out of silicone, man, it's gonna be like a nightmare once you actually pour in like the silicone and you got all those cavities. Imagine like when you're trying to pull out like the, let's just say you did like a torso, you try to pull it out from the silicone, you're gonna rip off like everything that goes like inside of those cavities. So that's why it's like better to have like the more the less concave kind of a entrapment, the better. If you want to do like something like an entrapment like that, and I'm gonna show it like probably later in the streams, but you should definitely like split it in more pieces, and those pieces should have like keys where they're gonna, let's just say like if I would be like doing this, and that would be like some kind of floating shield, and that would be like sitting like a, I don't know, like 5 centimeters, or I mean like in the scale of the character, like floating on top, then I would probably do like a center key, and then I will insert it. But that piece would actually be printed alone, you know, not like as a part of the rest. So but yeah, it's all something that all that engineering, that's something that I hope we'll be able like to achieve together, like in the future live streams. Once the sculpting is finished, we'll go probably into the whole engineering together, and everything will need to be sorted out. Even if I'm still like thinking about everything that while I'm sculpting, I think we'll I'll be like able to show you how I proceed, and see if we can learn something out of it. Even for me, like this project is gonna be like a new milestone, so I can't wait to try the whole engineering part. That's something that I actually like enjoy quite a bit, so I think it's gonna be quite fun. That's the thing, like right now, like I'm going quite hard at the wrinkles, and it feels almost like if the form underneath is like not solid or strong. So sometimes something you can do is just like go in with like super light, and doing right now I'm using like standard without IQ curve, and I'm just going like on the corner. I'm trying like to bring out that square shape, so at least like it will give out like a little bit more of the that initial form that it's, or initial padding that it's supposed to be underneath, and not something that almost feels like liquid. Yeah, thank you for the praise, Seagull. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm trying. That's the thing. Like on Pixelogic, I don't want to be greedy and take too much time off the on the stream. So that's why I try like to stream some on my personal channel. But that's the thing. I'm doing it like if you're like close to Eastern time, I'm doing it like quite early in the morning. So that might be hard to actually catch up with the streaming. But you know, the good part is like everything is like archived through my YouTube channel. So basically, all my stream that I'm doing on my personal channels are actually over there. So if you want to catch up later on what I've been doing off the Pixelogic stream, then you can always like take a look at it. Okay, so I think that's a wrap. So once again, thank you everyone. That was like awesome to have you like tonight with me. I hope to see you around once more. I mean, it's if you got any questions, you know, you want me like to help you with something, whatever, I'm always there. So I got like all the social media anchor names and all of that, so you can reach me through that or tag me, whatever. But yeah, I hope to see you around pretty soon. I got something big that I'm cooking up, so that's why like I apologize once more if my morning streams are not happening as often as possible. I'm still up like every morning working on something else, and yeah, I will reveal it hopefully in the upcoming weeks. So I'm just trying to stop the alarm. Okay. And yeah, thank you. So I see you around, and have a good weekend. Bye bye.